What's going on, YouTube world and YouTube tribe? Welcome to LilBigMan Gaming, bringing you a review for Monday Night Raw. First things first, with that being said, if y'all can hit that like, subscribe, share, and hit that notification button down below, because you know what time it is. Time for a Monday Night Raw review, like I said before. And yeah, just do all those great things. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe. What are you waiting for? I'm the hottest, newest gaming channel on YouTube. I do reviews, unboxings, retro gameplays, all that great stuff. You know, so what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button, kill that subscribe button, kill the like button. For those who are subscribed, thank you, love you, appreciate you for allowing me to entertain you and give you these reviews and give you my thoughts on it. And I appreciate that you watched the video. So, we got a goal of 1,200. But with that being said, let's get into it. So, we start off with, I want to say it was like a little backstage promo first. We did get the advertisement that Bobby Lashley will be on this Raw, so he's coming later on tonight. But yeah, we did get I guess the first match of the night was supposed to be the tag team match between another tag team match between Braun Strowman and Drew McIntyre versus Mace and T-Bar. And we had a little backstage promo, and I guess it was between Braun Strowman and Drew McIntyre. I couldn't get the name out. So Braun Strowman and Drew McIntyre confront each other backstage, and they get into a massive fight about last week. And uncharacteristically, somehow Braun Strowman thinks he's the guy to teach Drew McIntyre. Like he's the veteran. And I love the fact that Drew McIntyre called him out, and he's like, what? He's like, I have the experience. I got the championships around the world, and I'm a two-time former WWE World Champion. Like, come on now. Why would you think you could teach me? So anyway, they get into it. You know, Drew McIntyre's tremendously in a good old-fashioned promo tells him, look, kid, I'm going to teach you. You follow my lead. But then it breaks down. It breaks down into basically Braun Strowman saying, you know what? No, if you think you're too good to tag team with me, stay back here, and I will. I'm trying to see what I got written down here. Oh, I will go out there by myself, basically. And so then it became a. It became a 2-on-1 handicap match. So they did the reverse of last week. So now instead of Drew McIntyre versus Mason T-Bar, it was Braun Strowman. So it pretty much ended the same like last week, where they was going back and forth. Braun Strowman, and you know, he had a good offense. Then he got jumped, and it caused a disqualification. And then Drew McIntyre came out. Drew McIntyre would come out basically, and he held Braun Strowman, blah blah blah, only for it to break, like last week, break down into a tag team match between the two, like it was supposed to be anyway. So then that tag team match ended the exact same way. Like last week, this was just so disappointing. This was a disappointing start to Raw. The tag team match went as exactly like last week's too. They both put up an offensive fight, and then it resulted. Well, no, last week it was a disqualification. This week, instead of being a disqualification, it was a count out victory for Mason T-Bar. They got the count out victory. They would end up. It was a miscommunication. Drew McIntyre tried to clothesline T-Bar, but T-Bar ducked, and he ended up clotheslining Braun Strowman, who was trying to do his little choo-choo train thing and hit T-Bar, but after he hit Mace with it, but you know, like I said, he ducked, and he actually got clotheslined by Drew McIntyre. Then T-Bar would throw Drew McIntyre almost over the barricade, would beat the cop back into the ring. Drew tried to beat the cop, but he didn't, and it would give Mason T-Bar another victory. Once again, like I said, a disappointing start to Raw. We had, I'm gonna be a little bit everywhere, but we had whatchamacallit, we had Sonya Deville out of nowhere. You know, this is not Friday Night SmackDown. Sonya Deville is on Raw, and she's walking towards the door, and she lets in Charlotte Flair. Okay, I wonder what this is gonna be about. So then we get to another promo segment where it was a annoying as segment with the Miz TV, and John Morrison is back, and John Morrison and the Miz is joined by Elias and Jackson Riker, and they do an unplugged rendition of Hey Hey Hop Hop that gets interrupted by Damian Priest and followed by the New Day, Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. This was meant to be, because it's going to be a 6-man tag. It was like, this is 1 or 2 6-man tag matches of the night, and it was supposed to be Damian Priest and the New Day versus Miz and Jackson Riker and Elias. And they come out, they got this big suitcase. They say it's an olive branch, and you know they got these surprised, but then they giving them these fake praises, and they giving them these fake praises and telling them that, oh yeah, you know, you guys did such a beautiful rendition there. We got such a beautiful rotten rendition, and they start throwing rotten tomatoes at them, and it was kind of cool. That was kind of cool. But then it will finally break down into the 6-man tag match, which was a good 6-man tag match. I actually thoroughly enjoyed it. Was it too bad? Wasn't overbearing like the way they started off Raw. But yeah, they went back and forth, and it actually was good enough to go 2 ways. Like, it actually had me at the point where I was like, okay, I could see Alliance in them winning this, and then I could see Kofi Kingston in them winning this. Like, it wasn't a clear cut, but then in the end, Kofi got a little measure of payback. He didn't pin Elias, but he rolled up pin Jackson Riker to get his team the victory. We would get a promo with Bobby Lashley backstage, who met with MVP, and that, you know, the interviewer tried to get some scoop on how Bobby Lashley how Bobby Lashley would feel later on in the night, because I forgot to tell you that afterwards there was another promo with Braun Strowman and Braun Strowman and what's his name? Adam Pearce. It was a match with Braun Strowman and Adam Pearce, not a match, but a promo with Braun Strowman and Adam Pearce, where basically Braun Strowman kind of like, I want to say, he basically pandered and was like, I didn't get beat last week. You know, Randy Orton lost last week. Drew McIntyre won. So that means that I'm still, as the way I figure, I'm still in contention for the title. So they basically he spoiled that it was going to be a match between him and, you know, it wasn't, he didn't ask for a match. He said it was cool that we're going to have a match later on tonight. I'm like, who said y'all two was going to have a match later on tonight? You just had a match, a horrible opener, and now you're about to have a match. Okay, cool. So not, you know, it was sudden out of nowhere, but Adam Pearce basically agreed that since Braun Strowman didn't lose, if he beat Drew McIntyre later on tonight, he will be added to the WWE Championship match at Backlash. I'm not calling it the other title because that's stupid. At Backlash. I also forgot that was after I jumped in the gun. Like I told you, I'll be all over the place. Sonya Deville and Charlotte came out basically basically forcing Charlotte to apologize to the referee that she beat up last week, and if she didn't basically apologize, she was gonna I guess her suspension was supposed to stay on, but she apologized to the referee about her actions, and Sonya Deville announced that she already paid her. She did pay the fine in full and thought that was punishment enough. So she reinstated Charlotte Flair, lifted her suspension, and but like a heel, Charlotte Flair did bring up the fact that the referee mentioned that it was his fault that he didn't see Rhea Ripley get involved. Because he says had he saw Rhea Ripley get involved, the decision would have been that Charlotte Flair would have won the match. And so she brought him back up. She said, "Wait a minute, he did say it was his fault." So, in light of that, since he said it was his fault, I want him to apologize to me. And so he apologized to her reluctantly, and everything was Gucci. But then they would get interrupted by Alan Pierce, who who would say, "What the hell is that? What are you doing?" And he was like, "Look, I meant to come find you. I couldn't find you, but I meant to come find you and tell you what was going on." And he said, "You know what? Your apology is about as sincere as hers, and that I wouldn't believe you I wouldn't believe you for crap." So Alan Pierce is upset, and that would lead into the Braun Strowman segment that I mentioned earlier with him, basically asking Alan Pierce for the opportunity that if he won the match, he'd be added to the WWE Championship match, and because he was on the phone, I think he was on the phone talking to some higher ups about what Sonya Deville did. But yeah, then that's with the whole backstage promo with MVP and Bobby Lashley, where they would get asked, about what's what about the triple threat. They said they're not going to give him no scoop, but they would go out to the ring and address their issues. So then Bobby Lashley, they did do that. Bobby Lashley and them came out and demanded and tell how outraged they are that he's been treated this way. That he's not being consulted first before a decision like Alan Pierce is made. To get his opinion whether he okay with it or not. And he basically said, "I am your almighty WWE champion, and I should be treated as such." So now that my match is potential a triple threat match, I'm going to be out at ringside to watch my best investment. We would get a promo with Sheamus talking about why he did what he did last week with Humberto Carrillo, and that he said that the reason why he attacked Humberto Carrillo before the bell was because he said he felt insulted that Humberto Carrillo would even think that he deserved to be in the same ring as him. And he did. That's why he did what he did, and that he's doing another open challenge, which again, Humberto Carrillo came out, and again he get attacked, before the bell starts. But this time, Humberto turned the tables on tables, and this time the Sheamus is the one who got his butt whooped, and to end this so-called open challenge. There was a backstage promo with our resident bro and national treasure, Matt Riddle, where he was asked about last week how he defeated Randy Orton, only to be interrupted by Randy Orton, who tells him that, "You know what, I came out last week to teach you a lesson in respect, and you taught me and earned a little bit of my respect, to the point where, okay, we're going to give it a try, and we're going to try to tag team tonight with this RK Bro." So that's tonight will be. I guess it was going to be Randy Orton and Matt Riddle versus Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander. We did have a promo with Braun Strowman and MVP, who tried to relay a message from Bobby Lashley to Braun Strowman, but Braun Strowman interrupted and said, "Look, you know what? Since you back here relaying messages and such, tell Bobby Lashley this: once I beat Drew McIntyre tonight, there's nothing that him or Drew could do to stop him from walking out at Backlash as champion." There was another promo with Angel Garza presenting. With Angel Garza, he basically came out of nowhere with Nia Jax and and Sonya basically was backstage trying to get into. Sonya and Blazer were trying to get in their mode, get mindset, get focused, and not worry about Mandy Rose or Dana Brooke. Not worry about any other distraction, even from Reginald. They even mentioned how she got distracted on SmackDown, and they decided that they was gonna get focused. But before they could, before the match could, she would be given flowers, only to think it was for Reginald, only to think that it was from Angel Garza, who basically tried to put his little shot in. And she actually was impressed with Angel Garza, who then, as they was walking, getting ready for their match, Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke is just sitting there, not that far away from where they was. Like, they a couple of feet in head. So I'm just like, so y'all was just standing there? Why was y'all just standing there? You do really, they stand there like getting ready for their match and stuff, or getting ready for tonight, and they're just standing there acting like they didn't notice that Nia and them was standing. Come on, man. That was so horribly done in that backstage segment. It made me want to puke. But yeah, she would take the flowers and hit Mandy Rose and call her a B word. And anyway, yeah, I'm starting to get pissed with Raw now. So we would get the match with Randy Orton versus Riddle. It was a good match. It was a good match. I won't lie. It was one of the best. I think, if not the best match of the night, it was the one of the good matches of the night. It was a good match. They ended up the end came to when Cedric Alexander tried to stop Randy Orton from doing the RKO to Shelton Benjamin, but he would get RKO for his trouble because he came off the top ropes and Randy Orton just RKO him in mid, caught him in mid air to RKO him, and then he would do that DDT from the ropes, only to tag in Riddle, and Riddle hit the floating bro to get the win. Which looks like they're going to be a new tag team. That might actually be some great little mixture there. There was a backstage promo with Rhea Ripley. She was being interviewed about what her 6-man tag team match would be, and I think it was her and Nia Jax and Sonya versus Asuka, Naomi, and Lana. And I'm guessing she's a heel because they put her on the heel side, and that match was a good match in itself too. Lana and Naomi surprisingly put up a good effort. So did Asuka, but in the end, Rhea would hit the Riptide on Lana to get the victory, to get her and Nia Jackson the victory. Which not looking so good. It's not looking good for Lana and Naomi or Asuka at this point. They can't put together. She can't, since WrestleMania, she haven't been able to put together a solid victory. We did get a beautiful backstage promo with Alexa Bliss, and it looks like they repackaging her to be back in the women's division after being, entangled with Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt. She's about to make her presence felt to the women's division. She basically giving out the warning that it's time to play with the rest of WWE, and that Lily made her do it. Let's see what we get after. Oh, I forgot. Also in that match, it was multiple distractions in the Asuka and Naomi in their match from not only Sonya Deville, but Sonya Blazer and Reginald, but also from Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke. I think they threw water on Sonya Blazer that didn't amount to anything, and then Reginald and them. It was like distractions on both sides. But it was the distractions didn't matter. Nia, even though with the distractions and the little slip and falls, stupid crap, that they ended up still getting that victory. So I forgot to mention that because this would lead to the net with the Charlotte Flair versus Mandy Rose match, because Sonya Deville probably wanted to get some payback for against Mandy Rose. She told Mandy that for her actions in that match, she would have to face Charlotte Flair tonight in a one-on-one match, which was actually more of, not really a punishment, it was actually more of a gift, because that's a match that Mandy Rose needs to elevate her to the next level. which I'm actually glad she had because Mandy Rose did good in that match. Did I think she was going to win the match? No. But she did. They're not about to give Mandy Rose a victory over Charlotte Flair because she's not getting that type of push. But she did put up a good offense. She did do good. And it made me enjoy this one-on-one opportunity she had with Charlotte Flair. But Charlotte Flair would get the victory. And the referee that she had to apologize to was the referee. So that whole little storyline was that she was watching him and arguing with him. Her temper was getting the better of her because she felt like he wasn't doing the counts right. But in the end, she did get the victory. You know, everything was all cool. She didn't attack the referee, but she did tell him at the end, "I'm watching you." I think after that, yeah, we would go to, again, one of the negatives, we still haven't had no AJ and Omos. Where the hell are they? They're the Raw Tag Team Champions, and we have not seen them since WrestleMania night. Yeah, so we'll get the match between Braun Strowman and Drew McIntyre, and that, you know, the implications here, like I said, is that if Braun Strowman wins, he will be added to the match. And it went back and forth. They had a good back and forth match where Braun looked it really good, and so did Drew McIntyre. But with Drew McIntyre, it would be actually Bobby would try to distract Braun Strowman, and they even helped Drew McIntyre try to win the match because they don't want it to be a triple threat match. But that distraction did not pan out. It would actually be the distraction from Mason T-Bar, who I guess is really not in association with the Hurt Business, because they went and distracted Drew McIntyre and tried to attack him, which allowed Braun Strowman to get the victory. And now it will be a triple threat match at WrestleMania. I almost said it, WrestleMania Backlash. That stupid ass title at Backlash. If I would give this episode anything, I would give it. I give it 7 big ups. Just because we're missing the Raw Tag Team Champions. That horrible opening. I believe that opening of the show was very, very horribly done. And yeah, and then the whole Charlotte Flair deal was not really entertaining except for the one-on-one match she had. But that was it. That's all I got. If y'all could do me a favor and hit this button right here, it'll take you to all of my reviews for WWE. You hit this button right here, though, that's for if you're not subscribed to the channel. So hit that button so you don't miss none of these and my beautiful face and my gameplays and reactions and all that other stuff. Hit that button to subscribe or hit any one of these videos for more of my amazing content. I am out. Chief out. Peace. But I have to get up to turn this camera off. So, peace out, everybody.